Well, hello again. I'm Bill Russell, President of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, and we have another Around the Lake. And today we have Brent Thompson. He's with Action Coach. Brent, I've known Action Coach and David Dowdy for, probably 4 or 5 years. But for those unfamiliar with Action Coach, explain what you two do.
Okay. Well, Action Coach has been around for about 30 years. It's currently in 84 countries. So there's thousands of coaches around the world. And essentially, business owners come to us when they get to a point where they just rather work less and make more, which is probably all business owners. But sometimes you just get in that day-to-day and, you become employee of your business and you can't really find the time or put forth the effort to work on the business because you're so busy in the business. And so business owners come to us when they want to kind of break that trend. They want to have some more freedom. They want to work themselves out of the day-to-day so that they can work on growing and improving themselves and growing and improving their business and just get to a place of freedom where they either can scale the business further, they can sell the business, or, if they want to work 40 hours a week, they can. If they want to work 40 minutes, it's just not going to affect their bank account. And so we work with those business owners that are committed, they're ambitious, and they're just curious about what they may be leaving on the table. And so we look at all of that with a 6-step process that's used around the world, proven to bring the results to get them to that place of freedom and just enjoy the fruits of their labor and take vacations, and be able to spend time with family and, all of those things that a lot of business owners don't get a chance to do when the business kind of has a grip upon their life.
Brent, are you an actual coach yourself?
I am. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Just a little under a year. I've been in the nonprofit world and the for-profit world back and forth for about 28 years. And so in that time, I've had some coaching, I've had some counseling even during that time in the nonprofit world. And so my background is kind of just to have a heart for people, a heart to see people change and have the best life that they can have and quality of life. But everywhere I've been, even in the nonprofit, I was on the business side of things. And so I love processes and marketing, which is my degree from Appalachian State. I love marketing and systems, processes, building team, helping business owners with their time. And so my years and years, this position culminates perfectly to just have my two passions put together and hopefully will help somebody else in the process.
Brent, Tiger Woods, I don't know that he's the world's greatest golfer now.
Right.
He's a lot better than Brent and Bill.
Yes, he is. Very much so.
But I remember even Tiger Woods said that, he had to have a coach even when he was at his zenith, his prime. And again, arguably, I think he was at one point the greatest golfer that I've ever watched.
Yes.
Why, though, should someone have a coach? I mean, you kind of summed it up, but even David Dowdy himself, who is a business coach, has a coach.
Yeah, David actually has two, and we take it that serious. And back to Tiger Woods, I use that example a lot. He says that he can't see his own swing, right? He needs that set of eyes that's an outside perspective to see things that maybe he can't see. And so I use that sports analogy a lot with coaching is like, sometimes there's a misconception in the marketplace that you need a coach because you're in trouble or something's wrong or you're doing something wrong or you're failing as an owner, when in actuality, most of the business owners that come to us, they could be doing fine revenue wise, but there's just something missing that they feel like they're leaving something on the table. And, coaches in NFL or, NBA, any sporting aspect, your coach is helping you maximize your talent and maximize your opportunity. And that's what we do. And so we are that third party outside perspective to kind of see things. You know how it is. If you work in one place, you just kind of get blinders on over time. You get comfortable. And so you have an outside perspective that shows you something that maybe you didn't see on your own. And that's what we do. We also work with a lot of married couples that own businesses together, and a third party in that circumstance can be very, very valuable and affect the business and the home. And so that's kind of where we come in. We just want to see people not leave thousands and sometimes millions of dollars on the table simply because blinders are on from so much time doing the same things over and over.
You know, Brent, a couple of years ago, David did a program for us, and he said something to me that was really an aha moment, where he said that, look, I'm trying to get clients and potential customers from everywhere. And I met with my coach who said, David, you need to focus. You need to focus on a geographic area because you're probably shotgunning and spreading yourself too thin. And he said, when I focused in on where I wanted to draw my clients from, I saw my revenues go up and my productivity go up. So yes. My question to you is, what is your geographic area? Where do you market to?
We're the greater Lake Norman area. Obviously, with the technology advance that COVID brought with Zoom, we essentially can coach anyone anywhere.
Right.
But our sweet spot is essentially that 77 corridor from Statesville up to or down to Huntersville, over to Concord. We have some clients kind of out in the Catawba County area as well. That's our geographic. And then as far as a target, that's good because you got to have a target, right? Or else you're just shooting aimlessly. So our target is small business owners that have businesses about 2 employees up to 20 employees. We have some solo folks and we have some above that 20. And then revenue wise, around a couple $100,000 up to a couple million in revenue. We have some below that a little, but we also have some well above that. And that's our target. And other than that, just that business owner has to be committed and ambitious and just not settle with the status quo. Like, that's it. They have to be curious about and be intuitive enough to look at their business and have the humility to go, you know what, there might be something that I'm missing. Let's get another set of eyes in here and let's get a strategy and target and focus my time as an owner so that I can climb that entrepreneurial ladder from being self-employed and kind of that employee of the business up into that manager point to where you're managing your folks and you're still in the day-to-day, but we want to get you to that owner rung of that entrepreneurial ladder to where not necessarily required for the day-to-day, might even be in the way eventually for the day-to-day, but you have that time to focus in on growing that business and improving yourself as a business owner.
Brent, there really are quite a few business coaches in the Lake Norman region. What distinguishes Action Coach, Brent Thompson, David Dowdy from the rest of the pack?
It's the access that we have from, a lot of business coaches. Sometimes it's, they'll have their own systems and they work sometimes. And I don't know enough about the others that do it on their own independently. But what I know of us is it goes back to what I started with, is it's not just about my experience and what I know in my time of doing business and interacting with people. It's I have access to 30 years worth of proven, guaranteed processes, tools, content, thousands of coaches around the world that I can meet up with. I've spoken with coaches in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the Middle East. And so there's always answers for me to go find. It's not just about me. It's about 30 years worth of tried and proven. It's the #1 business coaching company in the world. And we say that because 84 countries worth of businesses, tens of thousands have been helped and things have been tested and proven to work. And I have access to all of that. And that's makes me feel good because it's not about me. It's about the international support that I get to help where we are in the Lake Norman area.
You kind of are going where I was going to ask the next question is, what led you into coaching from working with the nonprofits in the past to now being a coach for small business?
Just my heart bills to help people. Like, I worked in the faith-based addiction recovery world for about 8 years of my life. And so men 18 and older who were bound by drugs and alcohol, and I was able to be in an organization that helped people that way. And you learn to love people. You learn to want to see people have a better life. Not that business owners have maybe those types of consequences, but some of the behaviors and some of the tendencies can be similar. And so it's like, we want to see people have a quality of life. That's my heart. I really would hope to invest in someone and then be better because of our time that we spend together, right? So we're not consultants. We don't tell you what to do. We pull that out of you and we teach you how to fish so that you can fish for life rather than give you the fish for a day, as we all know how that goes. But the other side is that business. I love business. I love numbers. I love financials. I love spreadsheets. I love all of that. I love digging down into a business, strategizing for the future. And then the fulfilling part is to see those light bulbs go off with those business owners and go, my gosh, there's hope that I can actually go on vacation next year or this year. We have several people that have come to us and not been able to go on vacations that are now taking, 6-8 weeks off a year, leaving phones at home on European vacations and say, okay, I don't need my phone because my business is in good hands. Like, that's the heart that we have. David has that heart as well. That's my heart. It's not about the money so much. It's about helping people reach their goals faster without wasting time, without wasting money. You then impact a home because, you have children involved, you have spouses involved. If the business is going well, the business owner is going to go home. Everything's better there. If the business grows, we're impacting the community and there's more jobs being created that way. The accountants have more money to handle and manage. It's just as an example. And so the heart is just really to leave business owners better than when they found them. I don't want a business owner to want to need me in 3 years or so. They may want me longer than 3 years, but I want them to not have to need me because they've been taught the tools to run a successful business on their own.
Brent, you jumped in to the role of an ambassador of the Chamber of Commerce. You're helping people, welcome new members and get them acclimated and mentoring existing chamber members. What if a business wasn't a member of the Chamber of Commerce? Why should a business join the chamber from your perspective?
This chamber is as active as any chamber that I've ever been a part of or ever seen. Constant support, constant opportunities to be in the marketplace, constant communication, constant ways to support small businesses. It is just, there's ribbon cuttings that we do. I was just at a luncheon today with some folks that are clients of ours, and they were teaching us about their business. You guys offer that facility at times for us to do our workshops. You're very open, and when you give, the principle, when you have someone that gives to you, you want to give back. And so that's kind of being an ambassador. That's my way of giving back. And being a member of the chamber, you just know that you're going to have opportunities to run into other like-minded people. And when like-minded people get together, that's where the magic happens.
Brent, you live in Morrisville, you work in Lake Norman. What is it that you enjoy most about living and working right here in Lake Norman?
Well, Mooresville is my hometown. So I am a Mooresville native, and so I'm kind of a unicorn. I tell people that I'll print out a picture and sign it for them because we're rare. I love this area. I love the lake. I love the diversity that we have here. There's been so many folks from all over the country that have found this gem here on the East Coast of the United States. And so just to being able to interact from people from the north, south, east, and west that come to us, that's the biggest part. And you get an opportunity. There's so many businesses here as well. There's anything and everything that you could ever have. So another thing that we do is just connecting, being a kind of a conduit of businesses from one to the other. People say, do you have this? Do you know a good plumber? Do you know a good electrician? They go, well, I probably know a few. Let me send you some choices. There's so much of that packed in from that, from Mooresville up through Huntersville, where this lake is.
Well, Brent, we sure appreciate everything that you do in terms of mentoring and counseling small business, your activity as an ambassador in the Chamber of Commerce, and all of the support you do. You've been working on our golf tournament. We also want to thank Joe Vagnone. He's the presenting sponsor of Around the Lake. He's a small business broker here at the lake. But again, Brent, thank you and David for what you do for small business in and around the lake. And thank you for being a part of today's program.
You got it. Back at you, Bill. Thanks for the opportunity.
Have a great day.
You too.